This past weekend was the final Halo 5 event, HCS Finals 2018 at Dreamhack Atlanta. A lot of storylines coming into this one. Will Tox be able to finish where they've proven they belong, at the top of the game? Will Splice be able to bounce back from losing the last tournament to Tox after winning the previous 4? Will a new team be able to slide in and take that final championship? Let's recap the event and find out. We're hopping into Friday night kickoff, more like Friday late afternoon kickoff. This started at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't they know people work till 5? Maybe I should reconsider the fact that I'm 25 and still plan my weekend around video game tournaments. Anyway, I missed this whole series, but it was a swift 3-0 Renegades over Shock the World. Renegade wins Plaza Strongholds Game 1 100-16. They win Game 2 Rig Slayer 50-23. And Game 3 Eden Oddball 150-82. Penguin leads the series with 46 total kills and a 2.56 KD. On to Game 2. The second series shown on stream is Reciprocity vs Mentality Esports. And man, is it more of the same. Swift 3-0 coming out of Team Reciprocity, exactly what you'd expect. They win Game 1 Plaza Strongholds 100-24, Slayer Rig 50-32, and Eden Oddball 150-56. King Noob Slayer Eric Snipe Down Rona does exactly what he does best. Leads the series with a 1.73 KD and 7,231 damage overall. Game 3, Renegades vs Elevate. On paper, this looks like this would be our closest series of the night, and it did not disappoint. Game 1, Echelon Oddball, Elevate takes 150-105. Game 2, Renegades takes Plaza Slayer 50-42 to tie up the series. Renegades is able to take a 2-1 series lead with a 2-1 CTF Refuge win. Game 4 is Empire Strongholds. Elevate's able to take that one 100-43, all coming down to Kali Slayer Game 5. Renegades is able to edge them out 50-41 to go up 2-0 in the pool. The next game on stream was Reciprocity vs Straight Rippin'. Straight Rippin', of course, is now an EU roster that consists of Kimbo, Mose, Respectful, and Snipe Drone. Reciprocity goes up big in Game 1. However, Straight Rippin' is able to bounce back and take Game 1 Echelon Oddball 150-126. Game 2 is another close one, Plaza Slayer. Reciprocity is able to edge him out 50-46. Reciprocity then takes Game 3 Refuge Flag 3-1 and is able to close out an Empire Strongholds 100-73. Although Straight lost, Respectful was able to take the most kills in the series with 61. This series put Reciprocity 2-0 in pool play, while knocking Straight Rippin' down to 0-2 since they lost 3-0 to Mentality Esports off stream. Our next game is Splice vs Trifecta. Trifecta came into this tournament with a team change, dropping Musa and picking up Dastroid. That and the fact that Splice is one of our top teams, you'd think that this would be a quick 3-0. However, we were in for a pleasant surprise. Game 1 Echelon Oddball was a real nail-biter. Trifecta was able to edge it out 150-148. Game 2, Trifecta went up big again in Plaza Slayer, but in the end blew it to Splice's slaying power. They bounced back to win 50-47, tying the series at 1. Game 3 was Refuge Flag. Trifecta was able to bounce back and take a 2-1 series lead by winning 3-1. Game 4 was Empire Strongholds. Trifecta goes up huge and you think that Splice is finally going to fall. I believe they were up 80-20 at some point, but Splice is able to bounce back and go on an 80-point run, taking the game 100-80. Leaving us with Game 5 Kali Slayer. This game was another nail-biter, but Splice's slaying power just proved to be too much, able to edge the game out 50-40. This was Splice's first game in pool play, and man, it really started planting doubts that they were prepared for this tournament. Our final Friday game was Tox vs Accelerate. As you'd expect, Tox was able to hit him with a quick 3-0, although Game 1 Oddball was pretty close. Echelon Oddball, Tox won 150 to 110. Slayer wasn't too bad either, 50 to 38. However, Game 3, Refuge CTF, Tox took with a quick 3-0. This was our final Friday match. Now let's hop into Saturday. Saturday kicked off with Splice vs Lux Gaming, which consists of Denoxide, Nated, Gilkey, and Nebula. Again, Splice seems to show some chinks in their armor. This series going to 5 games. After handling Lux pretty well in Game 1 with a 3-1 Truth CTF victory, they fall to Lux in Game 2, 50-41 in Coliseum Slayer. Splice bounces back in Game 3, Rig Strongholds with a 100-45 victory. However, in Game 4, Lux is able to slap Splice 150-54 in Fissure Oddball. Everything comes down to Refuge Slayer for Game 5. Splice is able to edge out Lux 50-38 to take the series 3-2. However, this was a great showing for Lux. Denoxide able to prove that he is in fact a turret, with 13,000 total damage in the series. Our next match is Straight Rippin' vs the Anaheim Pirates. Who wants to watch this match, right? Europeans versus the Anaheim Pirates? Actually, if you look at the roster, the Anaheim Pirates consist of commonly Straight Sick, Druck, and Soul Snipe, 2 up-and-comers with 2 established Halo pros. And considering the fact that the Anaheim Pirates were able to take Reciprocity, one of our top 3 teams, to a Game 5, you'd think that they have a huge chance to take out Straight Rippin'. This was a pretty close series all around, with Straight Rippin' taking Game 1 Plaza Strongholds 100-76. The Anaheim Pirates bounced back on Rig Slayer with a 50-37 victory. Game 3 was another nail-biter, Eden Oddball, Straight Rippin' able to take it 150-121. Commonly led this series with a 1.55 KD and 9,404 total damage. However, it wasn't enough as Straight Rippin' takes Kali Flag 3-2 to take a 3-1 series victory. Next, we have Lux vs Paradox. Paradox being an Australian team consisting of Barcode, Berserk, Intel, and Madsea. I was thinking about skipping over this one, but hey, it was on the Alpha stream, so why not? Lux was able to take this with a swift 3-0, 150-68 in Echelon Oddball, a close Game 2 Plaza Slayer, edging him out 50-46, and then a 3-1 Refuge CTF victory. This game concluded our bracket play for Saturday. We are now moving on to Champ Bracket. Our first match of Champ Bracket was Splice vs Elevate. Tough matchup for Elevate, but hey, they put up a good fight. Splice takes Game 1 Truth CTF 3-2. Very close Game 1, and Elevate is able to show that they belong with a 50-44 victory in Kali Slayer. However, it goes downhill from there. Splice takes Plaza Strongholds 100-0, and then a close Game 4 Eden Oddball 150-116, pushing them on to Winners Bracket Round 2 and sending Elevate to the Losers Bracket. The next match we see on stream is another Winners Bracket Round 1 matchup, Tox vs Mentality. Mentality consists of Anvor, Jazero, Super CC Vase, and Talik. Normally you'd think Tox would 3-0 this team, but Mentality puts up a good fight. They take Game 1 Truth CTF 3-2. However, this provides Tox the wake-up call they need, as they take the next 3 games. They win Coliseum Slayer 50-36, Plaza Strongholds 100-42, and Eden Oddball 150-16, sending them to Winners Bracket Round 2 and pushing Mentality Esports down to Losers Bracket. Now we have our final game for Saturday, probably our best game, Reciprocity vs Splice. This was an extremely back-and-forth series. Reciprocity looks really good in Game 1, taking Rig Strongholds 100-27. However, Splice bounces back in Plaza Slayer, winning 50-39. Game 3 is Echelon Oddball. Team Reciprocity is able to edge this out 150-117. However, Splice comes back in Kali Flag with a quick 3-0 victory, looking poised to take this series. It all comes down to Refuge Slayer. Reciprocity is able to take control of the map and end up taking the series 50-35. This guarantees Reciprocity a top 3 finish, while sends Splice down to Losers Bracket, the earliest they've lost in a tournament since forming. We start off Championship Sunday with a grudge match, Elevate vs Accelerate. These two teams swapped players, Ace for Falcated, prior to this final Halo 5 tournament. On paper, these teams are pretty evenly matched. However, it didn't go that way in the series. Accelerate wins a close Eden oddball Game 1, 150 to 133. Game 2 is a little close as well. Coliseum Slayer, Accelerate takes 50 to 34. However, Game 3 is Truth CTF and Accelerate bulldozes them 3-0, taking the series 3-0 and proving that they benefited the most from this roster change. However, the celebrations are very short-lived. Accelerate end up matching Renegades in the next round of losers bracket. Renegades edges out a very close Game 1, Coliseum capture the flag 3-2. However, the rest of the series is not even relatively close. Renegades wins Refuge Slayer 50-22, and then takes Eden Strongholds 100-4. The next match is the match we've all been waiting for. Reciprocity vs Lux Gaming, Winners Finals. This is the first series that is a best of 7 in the tournament. And this match lived up to the hype. Game 1, Reciprocity takes Echelon Oddball 150 to 110. Game 2 was a nail biter. Reciprocity was up Truth Slayer the entire game. At some point, even up 15 kills. But Tox does what they do best, and they battled back. Tox takes the lead close to the end. However, Reciprocity is able to edge them out 50 to 49, taking a 2-0 series lead. Game 3, we have Refuge CTF. Reciprocity reigns supreme again and takes a 3-1 victory, putting them up 3-0 in the series. All is looking good for Reciprocity at this point. However, this is when it starts to go downhill. Game 4, Plaza Strongholds, Tox edges them out 100 to 87, showing some life. Game 5 is Rig Slayer. Tox wins again, taking a 50 to 41 victory in the match and making a 3-2 series. Next we have Eden Oddball. Again, Tox wins 150 to 49, sending this to a Game 7. Tox looking like the team they've proven to be, never being out of a series, while Reciprocity looks like they're about to get reverse swept. However, Reciprocity is able to prove that they deserve to be a top 2 team. They win Plaza Slayer 50 to 38, guaranteeing them a top 2 finish and sending Tox to the losers final. Trippy led that series with a 1.27 KD, while Frosty led the series in kills with 99 total kills throughout the 7 games. Next on stream, we have the losers finals, Tox vs Renegades. Off stream, Renegades took out Splice in losers bracket 3-1, ending Splice's chances at retaining the title in the final Halo 5 tournament. However, Renegades were unable to keep this momentum rolling. The first match, Fizzer Oddball, was a very close one, but Tox was able to edge him out 150 to 142. More of the same in Game 2, Coliseum Slayer. Tox edges out Renegades 50 to 46, giving them a 2-0 series lead. Game 3 was Truth CTF. Tox steamrolled Renegades in this one, 3-0, giving them a 3-0 series lead. Next, we had Eden Strongholds. Tox edges out a 100 to 75 victory, giving them a 4-0 sweep of Renegades and setting up the rematch in Grand Finals versus Reciprocity. It all comes down to this. Will Reciprocity be able to reign supreme in the final Halo 5 tournament? Will Snipedown be able to edge out Lethal in this rivalry? Will Tox be able to finish Halo 5 on top, where they've proven that they deserve to be? Well, it doesn't start off too hot for Reciprocity. Tox takes Game 1, Truth CTF 2-0. Game 2 is Refuge Slayer, and Tox takes this one 50 to 41. Game 3 we have Rig Strongholds. Tox also takes this 100 to 63. Finally we have Fissure Oddball. Tox takes this 150 to 82, setting up a 4-0 sweep in the first series of the Grand Finals. This causes a bracket reset, and we have one more series to decide who will be the champion of Halo 5. Our final series starts off hot in Empire Strongholds. Tox takes Game 1 100-64. Game 2, Rig Slayer, is another close game. Tox edges out Reciprocity 50-42, giving them a 2-0 series lead. Game 3 is Echelon Oddball. This game couldn't have gotten much closer. However, Tox wins 150-142, putting them up 3-0 and putting them one game away from being the undisputed Halo 5 champions. And that's when this happens.
Only one cap away, and they're trying to run number 3 right now.
They want this back-to-back, and they want it bad. What better way to finish things off with perfect objective play? PJ, the captain of Lux Gaming, trying to run this one in. Reciprocity desperately trying to make a last stand. Lethal comes in, gets that final kill. They are the greatest Halo 5 team of all time. Lethal puts it in. Lux Gaming, oh, who else would it be? Your Atlanta champions of Halo 5 for the final time, a dynasty.
And there you have it, Tox, your undisputed Halo 5 champion, the best Halo 5 team we've seen. They dominated an entire generation of Halo, and arguably the best Halo roster we've ever seen. I'm sorry, it hurts me to say it too. I don't want Final Boss to be touched either, you know, nostalgia. I love them, but if there's one team that deserves it, it's them. Look at their resume. They've never finished outside the top 2. The only thing they haven't done is win a tournament without dropping a game, but like the competition, it's higher than ever. And, you know, I just love to see this roster compete again. We might not ever see it. Frosty's leaving for Black Ops 4. He's going to be competing in that. We can only hope that Halo Infinite can bring our sweet, sweet snowman back to us. But this is the end of Halo 5, guys, so until Halo Infinite, I'm out.